Hello and welcome back to another daily devotion. This devotion I am recording for Monday, October 24th of 2022. And we are in the book of Hebrews. We have made it to the 8th chapter. And today we're going to look at the first 7 verses of chapter 8. So we're going to look at verses 1 through 7 today. And we have been talking about Jesus being in the order of this ethereal priest, Melchizedek, this mysterious fellow, this man of mystery, Melchizedek. And that Jesus is a priest in that line that pre-exists the line of the Levites and the priestly caste. Because remember, all of this, the important part to remember in all of this is that the temple's been destroyed. And so now what do we do? How do we deal with this? The temple's gone, and the priests are gone. And so what do? How do we, there's great consternation amongst these Jewish believers, these followers of Christ, because up until this time they've been able to be Jewish and Christian. If you can imagine that, we don't. It's a different way of being than what we are dealing with today. They were the newest Jewish sect of these Christ followers. There were many sects. The primary ones, of course, were the Essenes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Would have been the biggest ones at that time, but there were many others, the Nazarites as well, and there was estimates that there were about 36 different Jewish sects at the time of Jesus. But again, the only one that survived, was we understand and recognize Judaism today, would be the Pharisees. But now the temple's been destroyed. The Sadducees are gone. How do we continue on being? The Ebionites were a group of Christian, Jewish Christians as well at the beginning of the first century. But how do we continue on? We can't be Jews as well as Christ followers. Again, they were the newest Jewish sect on the block, if you will. But then they had to evolve into something different. And really, without the destruction of the temple, without Paul's and without the Jewish curse upon the Christian followers and kind of kicking them out of the synagogues and things like that, the Christian movement might have developed quite differently. That would have been quite interesting, I suspect. But as it is, we have what we were supposed to have. That's what we believe as Christ followers. We believe that it evolved into the state that it is. This is the way we are supposed to do it. That's our belief. But there are Jewish Christians. Remember that there are Jews for Jesus, and the Messianic Jews. There are other Jewish sects that are out there that are Christ followers. So we don't want to disparage that. But long story short, how do we deal with this? So let's read the verses and we'll talk a little bit more, shall we? So verses 1 through 7 in chapter 8 is all we're going to tackle this morning. So now the point in what we are saying is this: we have such a high priest, one who is seated at the right hand of the throne of the Majesty in heaven, a minister in the sanctuary and the true tent, which is set up not by man but by the Lord. For every high priest is appointed to offer gifts and sacrifices. Hence it is necessary for this priest also to have something to offer. Now if it were on earth, he would not be a priest at all, since there are priests who offer gifts according to the law. They serve a copy and shadow of the heavenly sanctuary for when Moses was about to erect the tent. He was instructed by God, saying, "See that you make everything according to the pattern which has shown you on the mountain." But as it is, Christ has obtained a ministry which is as much more excellent than the old, as the covenant he mediates is better, since it is enacted on better promises. For if that first covenant had been faultless, there would have been no occasion for a second. Okay, not only is Jesus the high priest, but he's in the heavenly realm, because he's obviously, if he were on earth, he would be. Well, he wouldn't be, but they would be like the other priests. There would be no need for him. But he's in the heavenly realm, and he is in this perfect sanctuary, the heavenly sanctuary, that the one on earth was just a copy of it, a cheap knockoff, if you will. That might sound a bit harsh, so forgive me. But it wasn't the real thing. It was the real sanctuary. Jesus is the temple. He is the priest. He's the temple. He's the judge. He's the Messiah. He's all in all. He is all in all, the Alpha and the Omega. We have to remember that. He is the real deal, the whole shebang, as they say. So we don't need these things. We don't need the temple. The temple's gone. We don't need the temple. The priests are gone. We don't need the priests. We got Jesus, and he's superior. He's better anyway. For if the first covenant had been faultless, there would have been no occasion for the second. He is also the covenant. He is the promise. He is the gospel. The gospel is Jesus. That's the good news. Remember that. That's the whole thing. Like I said, he is it, all in all, the whole shebang. Praise be to God for that message. All right, that's what I got for you. Have a blessed day. And please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. Tell them about Jesus. What more do they need to know? He's the Alpha and Omega. God bless you all. See you later. And if you enjoy these devotions, by golly, please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you around more often. Okay? Take care and God bless.